Hey guys, it is Carl Brown for GuitarLessons365.com, and we have a channel first today. Not only is this the first song I've ever done from Korn, first lesson I've ever done playing a 7-string. So before you guys go, nobody has 7-string guitars. I realize that. That's the reason why I've never done a video with a 7-string in it. But Korn is pretty much one of the biggest metal bands of all time. I get requests for them all the time, but I'm always like, yeah, you guys, I'm gonna do a 7-string, not only a 7-string guitar, down-tuned 7-string guitar. You know, who can practice the lesson? Most people don't have it, but we're gonna experiment and do one anyway. So if you don't have a 7-string, there's almost a couple thousand other lessons on the channel. I'm just using the 6-string, so you got plenty to choose from there. But let's have some fun. Korn's going into their 30-year anniversary. I saw Korn back in North Carolina play an old post office, like abandoned post office. Seriously, it's been way back in the 90s. I saw them play this little small place, and it was crazy. So I used to see them quite a bit back in the day. So it's fun to finally do some of their songs. We're gonna do Freak on a Leash, kind of go through all the parts here, and there's some interesting stuff going on. Tuning, obviously, we have a 7-string guitar here, and it's a 7-string guitar with every string tuned down a whole step. So you can call that A standard, and a normal 7-string tuning is B standard. So let's explain what this is. So when we just talk about the original, you know, 6-string guitar, we have the high E string, but it's tuned down to a D. And then the B string is tuned down to an A. The G string tuned down to an F. The D string is tuned down to a C. The A string tuned down to a G. The low E string tuned down to a D. And then the added 7th string on the guitar, which is usually a B in standard tuning, is tuned down to A. So it's kind of standard Korn tuning here. And so obviously, hopefully you got a guitar that you can do this and follow along. It's a fun song to play. Anyway, now, before I get into this, please subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell and all that good stuff. Kind of like and comment on the lessons, it really helps. But really, I say it all the time, if you guys like the lessons that I do here on YouTube, the only way I can keep them going is by people joining my Guitar Academy, because you don't make money doing solo lessons on YouTube. So you'll see a link to that in the description below. That link will give you a free 7-day trial, access to all of my courses, a personalized support from me, as well as access to the live streams that I do every weekend for just Academy members, so you can ask me questions in real time. So please come join us. I see a link to that in the description below. All right, so let's jump into this track. So after this tuning madness, we're gonna start with the verse, well, this little intro, which is kind of really the verse of the song. And there's two different, Head and Munky, they're doing two different things here. So we have one doing so besides the guitar, there's a whammy pedal being used that brings this pitch up an octave. So normally, so we have one guitar doing this. And he has other effects on there, I'm well aware, besides the whammy. I'm not trying to get dialed into the tone, I'm just kind of show the song. So this is what it sounds like without the whammy pedal. Then with the whammy, just kind of repeats that. So now those notes are the 9th fret there on the G. Now I am gonna call these strings out as if they're just standard tune strings. I'm not gonna call this an F string, you know? So the G string there, 9th fret, the 12th fret on the B string, and then to the 10th fret there on the G. So those are the 3 notes that just repeat. And you set your, if you have a whammy pedal, or like me, I'm using the whammy model inside the Line 6 Helix here, I could just engage it, and I have it set to where when I have the toe forward on the pedal, it goes up 1 octave. So this is basically, you're hearing 1 octave higher. Now, if you don't have a whammy pedal, you can cheat that and just play it up an octave, which is here at the 17th fret on the B, 19 on the high E, then 18 on the B. So that's one of the guitar lines going. The other one's a more of a clean setting and has this thing going. So the timing that he's doing is kind of, he does like 3 different timings there across. So one, the notes he's holding is at the 22nd fret here on the G, 22nd fret on the B, and then the 24th fret there on the high E. So first, you'll just hear him kind of, he just picks across it, just from the G to the high E. So G, B, high E. And then you're gonna hear the next time he goes, so he plays like the first 2 notes like normal, then pauses. There's a little delay before he hits the high E string. So it's a, and then the third time through, he's gonna go, so there's like a little slight pause between each one of them. And then he picks it through normal. So he kind of goes through those 3 cycles. He picks it normal, then delays the last note, and then delays every note. There's pause in between each of the notes, and then just kind of goes cycles through that. So sometimes you'll hear him kind of do this 2 times in a row, and then he'll start doing the more delayed sequences. But that's what's going on. So Head is playing that part, and Munky's playing the part down here. And then we get to the pre-chorus, which they both do the same thing here. So we'll switch back to a distortion setting here. And turn off that whammy now. So no whammy, and we have this. So this is an octave here. So this is the A string. And then it's kind of weird because it's like, it's just how it works. The A string, 11th fret, and 13th fret there on the G. So you're doing this octave. Slide up to the 12, back down to 11, and hit that. So while you're doing that, you're gonna hit the E string underneath it. Then you do that again. And then you move it down to the 8th fret. And when you get to the 8th fret, you're gonna add, you can hear, add some of the open strings, the open B and high E and stuff to it. Kind of make it more dissonant, way this. All right, then we get to the chorus. Looks like this. All right, so that's gonna start out with actually a major chord. We're gonna have this B string, low B string open, 7th fret on the E, 9th fret on the A, 9th fret on the D, and then 8th fret there on that G. So hear that chord first, and then we're gonna go to power chords. Just come over to the 7th fret there on the low B string, that power chord here, 7, 8, and when you go down to 6, when you hit that power chord of the 6, you can let the open strings ring under it, so it is. All right, so then it goes back to the verse, so the same little 2-guitar verse with the whammy pedal, and then the stuff way up high being played by Head. And then get the same pre-chorus, same chorus. And then we get to this bridge, which is quite funky, and it goes into like a really heavy riff. So this bridge lick uses a lot of harmonics, a little bit tricky to play too. So let me play for you right there. I'm gonna go from that into the heavy riff. So it looks like this. Last little course. All right, so this is a little tricky to play. So we're going to start here with this. So it's going to start with just a naturally fretted note here at the 4th fret on the. This is going to be the A string, kind of palm muted and a little staccato. And then we're going to hit the harmonic here at the 5th fret on the D string. So this. So you do that a couple times. So hit this note twice, and then harmonic twice. And then you're gonna go, now we're gonna play the harmonic at the 4th fret there on the A string. And then the 5th fret there on the D, and then back to the harmonic on the 4th fret of the A. So we have this. So what's tricky is you're fretting the note and then you're playing it as a harmonic, so it's a different feel. And then the second time through it, you do similar, but it has that different ending. Instead of going, it does this. It plays the harmonic there at the 4th fret on the D, I'm sorry, on the A string, and then on the 5th fret. And you hear that those beats that are happening there between when you put those two notes together. It gives that sound. So it sounds like he's using an effect pedal, but what's happening is when you take those two harmonics, you put them together, it's got those beats like it beating against one another. And so it happens naturally just with the harmonics. So the whole part is this. And then you just kind of repeat that. And then at the end, kind of doesn't go through the whole lick, it just dives into that riff. Now the riff that it goes into, still in the bridge, is pretty easy. Standard power chord here off the low B string, 2nd fret. It's a chromatic thing, so it just goes 2, 3, 4, 5, and repeat. So the 4th time through, you're gonna do this. 2, 3, 2, 1. So it goes 2, 3, 2, 1. So all together, one time through the heavy part of the bridge. And then you just repeat that all 2 more times. All right, from there we have the outro chorus, which is, there's a couple of parts going on. There's another whammy thing being played by Head. I'll cover that in a second. But there's a riff going on underneath it that they're both doing at first before the kind of harmonic, the octave melody with the whammy comes in. And it's it's the same chords as the chorus, but a different rhythm, so a more intense rhythm. So and it also doesn't start that major chord. That major note's removed now. So we have Munky playing it down here. So that's just that kind of rhythm on the low B open. And then the power chord here off the 2nd fret of the E string. 3 and 1, and when you get to the 1, you can have the open strings hit with it. So we have this. So you can have Head playing with him at the beginning, and he just does the chords here instead of down here, but the same thing. So, but just not that major chord like we talked about. It's just. So kind of similar to the chords we did in the first chorus without that major first chord. And then obviously this different rhythm because it's more aggressive rhythm. So after they do that a little bit, then they go into this, this melody comes in over that outro chorus. The melody is played by Head, and it's an octave thing that incorporates a whammy pedal. Now this whammy pedal setting is a little different in that when it doesn't start with a whammy pedal, it brings the whammy pedal in the middle of the octave melody, and the whammy pedal is set to make it 2 octaves higher this time. So it's a different setting than the previous one, which was just 1 octave higher in the verse. All right, so it looks like this. All right, so that's going to start here with this. First, let's just look at what's going on in the first. So it's the 14th fret here on the A string, and then 16th there on the G. So that's where that. We won't do the whammy pedal yet. So it starts with that, and then 14, then move it up to 15. So that moves up to 17 on the G, and then down to 12 on the D and 14 on the G. And so that's the melody. All right, so now on that chord, that first chord, you're gonna pick it as you're holding it. You engage the whammy pedal 2 octaves higher, bring it back down, and then just repeat that. So it's pretty simple, but you need some specific gear to do it. I realize that. So hopefully you guys have a Helix and you have a 7-string guitar that you can tune down, and you can have a lot of fun with this. But anyway, I thought it'd be a good experiment. So let's try some different things. We've had a couple thousand 6-string videos on this channel. Let's do a 7-string just to see what people think. And if you want me to do more of this, let me know. I'd love to do more Korn. It's really biggest metal bands in history, and I used to be a huge fan. I've seen them play live like half a dozen times. So anyway, I'll see you guys again soon for GuitarLessons365.com.